Hey everybody, just a quick summary of Chapter 8, We Capture a Flag, to help you guys finish your graphic today. And I want to just go through some of the important parts of the story, and like I mentioned before, you could think of 4 important parts of the chapter to help you with the quotes you choose. And there's a lot of things that happen in the chapter, okay? So we get Percy training with Luke, and they're having a big sword fight. And then Percy is very tired, sweaty, and he sees some kids, getting water, pouring it over their heads. And he tried the same thing, and all of a sudden he felt this surge of strength and felt better. That's a little bit of a foreshadowing towards the end of the chapter. Then he had a little sword fight with Luke, and I guess Luke is one of the best sword fighters at Camp Half-Blood in the last 300 years. And lo and behold, Percy disarms Luke. And Luke seems okay about it, but it just probably hurt his ego a bit. Another important part through the chapter is Grover's talking with Percy, and he wants to get his searcher license. And he needs a quest to go on a search. So that he could get his license. And he's talking to Chiron about that. We also hear about the big 3. They're looking at the empty cabins at Camp Half-Blood and noticed that a few of the cabins were empty. I believe Artemis was one of them, and she just does not have kids. And they mentioned the big 3, which is Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. And Zeus is the big god in charge of the sky, Poseidon the sea, and Hades the underworld. So I guess they made a pact, said no more kids for us 3 because they're just too powerful, the kids. But they break the rules, and we get the story of Thalia, who was a daughter of Zeus. And the story Grover told was about a searcher and protector. They were leading 3 people to Camp Half-Blood, and they were being chased by monsters from the underworld. And Thalia made a big stand and allowed two other Half-Bloods to get to Camp Half-Blood safely. The searcher with her, was meant to protect her, but she sent him with the 2 kids, and she unfortunately did not make it. Then we're getting into what is the main part of the chapter, is the capture the flag game. And they're in full uniforms and swords and shields, and Percy felt a little off balance, found it difficult to carry the big shields. But then we see him, he's guarding the border, and along comes Clarice, and she's being typical Clarice, a bully and bothering and making fun of Percy. And Clarice has an electric spear, gives him a good zap, and he couldn't believe that she would do that. Percy eventually gets to the creek, and again we see that he gets this whole wave of strength and power from the creek. Again, water giving him a surge of strength and healing him. In the meantime, Annabeth and Luke and Percy, they win the battle, capture the flag, because Annabeth had a terrific plan. She's a daughter of Athena, goddess of wisdom, and also of war in the planning stages, not like Ares. And Annabeth used Percy as a decoy, because Clarice went after him right away to get payback from the toilet incident. And they used that decoy, used Percy as a decoy, and that took a lot of the other team out of the fight, and they won. Capture the flag. After the battle, Percy's still in the creek, he's getting strong. Annabeth thinks something's strange about it because he keeps getting stronger in the water. And someone also summoned a hellhound, and that was perched near Percy, and was quite a scary situation. Eventually, the hellhound goes, and Percy goes in the water, he heals up, and we find out that Percy's dad is Poseidon. Now, if you're looking for a good quote, I'll give you one of your four if you want. At the end of the chapter, and Percy says, "My father," I asked, completely bewildered. "Poseidon," said Chiron. "Earthshaker, Stormbringer, father of horses, hail Perseus Jackson, son of the sea god." And that, now we know who Percy's dad is. And if you go back to the previous chapters, you will see a few incidents using water. And if we think back to chapter 1, when the fountain seemed to erupt on Nancy Bobafet, and this whole chapter, you see how water is giving him strength. So remember, you need 4 quotes, 4 parts of the story that you feel are important, and you need to pick a symbol for the chapter. And one of the symbols, I think which is quite obvious, is a trident, and that's like a fancy 3-pronged pitchfork kind of thing. You could also have flags from Capture the Flag. You could have a spear like the electric one Clarice was using, shields, and if you think you can find something different, you definitely can use it as long as it pertains to the chapter. Also, you need to color your symbol 3 different colors that represent emotions of this battle. This chapter. And I go back thinking to the battle. You could use red for anger that Clarice felt. You could use a color like green for Percy being happy because he knows who his dad is. And think of the other things that happen in the chapter as well. Don't forget to put the chapter title as well. And if you have a scanner, or if you can scan, you could scan the assignment and upload it on the assignment page for me. If not, take a picture of it and you could email it using your school board email, or give it to your parents and they can email me because they've got my email address and that. Okay, that's a quick summary, and be sure to watch it again if you need. And that's that. Okay, goodbye.